as a reminder for how the seventh month is set apart from all other months. Today we're going to look at Numbers 29, 1 through 6 in the Hebrew. Shalom, welcome to Rob on the Rock. I'm Rob Van Hoff, and today, in honor of Yom Teruah, or the first day of the seventh month, I'm going to read a little bit from a 10th century manuscript from the British Museum. And it is called OR for Oriental 4445. It's a beautiful manuscript. Sadly, it's incomplete of the Torah, but we're going to be looking at Numbers 29, 1 through 6, reading from the Hebrew. Here you can see what this manuscript looks like. It's got Masorah notes above and below, and it's in 3 columns of text. We're going to zero in here, right here, and we're going to read. You can actually see someone in English wrote 2:9 here for 29. This is for Numbers 29. So let's read here. U'vachodesh hashvi'i be'echad lachodesh. So u'vachodesh hashvi'i. That means and in the 7th month, or on the 7th month. U'va chodesh hashvi'i be'echad lachodesh. On the echad lachodesh, on the 1st of the month. Mikra Kodesh Yehyeh Lachem. A Mikra Kodesh Yehyeh Lachem. A declaration of holiness it will be for you. Kol Melechet Avodah Lo Ta'asu. All manner of laborious work, Lo Ta'asu, you will not do. Yom Teruah. Yom Teruah Yehyeh. Now we got to go up to the next. The day of Teruah, blowing of trumpets, is how we translate that. Yom Teruah Yehyeh Lachem. It will be a Yom Teruah, a day of Teruah, or trumpet shout for you. Va'asitem olah l'reach nichoach l'Adonai. And y'all will make an olah, a burnt offering, l'reach nichoach l'Adonai, a pleasing aroma unto the Lord. So he's given us when it is, what the date appointed time is, and what we are to do. We are to put aside the things of the world, and we offer to him an olah, a burnt offering that means fully consumed on the altar, as a reach nichoach l'Adonai, as a pleasing aroma unto the Lord. Well, if I haven't set apart the things of the flesh, and by faith met with the Lord in his appointed time, with a heart that desires to worship him and acknowledge his sovereignty and his faithfulness, to worship him in spirit and in truth, there's no way that he's going to accept an olah from us as a reach nichoach. How's the Lord going to accept a burnt offering as a pleasing aroma if our hearts aren't right? He's going to say that stinks to me, as it says in Isaiah 1, for example. So God wants to be pleased with us, and there is, according to his instructions, a path of behaving in a way that is a blessing, or not specifically the word blessing here, reach nichoach, a pleasing aroma unto him. And then he says what that is. Par ben bakar echad. So a par, that's of the herd, echad, one bull. And then it says ayil echad, one ram. These are all the olah. So although olah just means single burnt offering, the olah covers all these animals. Par ben bakar echad, so one bull. Ayil echad, one ram. And then it says kevasim b'nei shana shiva tmimim. So, and then we have 7 male lambs, b'nei shana, that are a year old. Kevasim b'nei shana shiva, 7 male lambs a year old. Tmimim. Tmimim, that means without blemish. And this Tmimim really counts for the par, the bull, for the ayil, the ram, and for the 7 kevasim. They all must be Tmimim. We too must be tamim, offering these lambs and this bull and this ram. So the worshiper and the means of worship are to both be tamim. Remember, it's not going to be a reach nechoach. It's not going to be a pleasing aroma. It's not acceptable worship unto the Lord unless we are approaching him in spirit and in truth, as Yeshua explains. Uminchatam, and their mincha, and their grain offering. It says, solet, blula, vashamin. So solet, that's a semolina, that's a fine flour. Blula means mixed, blula. Solet, blula, vashamin, mixed with oil. Shlosha isronim. Shlosha isronim, 3/10, and isron is 1/10 of an ephah. So shlosha isronim lapar, 3/10 for the par, that is lapar, for the bull. Shnei esronim la'ayil, 2/10 for the ram. And then it says, Isaron echad lakeves ha'echad. And 1/10, 1 isaron, for 1 keves, for 1 lamb, the shivata kevasim, for each of the 7 lambs. So we had 3/10 for the par, for the bull, 2/10 for the ram, and then 1/10 for each of the lambs, which is obviously going to be 7/10 total. And then it says, Useir izim echad, and 1 seir izim, 1 goat. What for? Chatat lechaper alechem. A chatat lechaper, a sin offering to atone for you all. Now, this is not the Day of Atonement, of course, but we are at the beginning of a month, and there is a sin offering that, remember, each of these offerings represent a channel of communication with God. So the olah, of course, is the burnt offering, but here we also have a chatat, a sin offering, because sin is a fact of the world and is acknowledged here. So chatat lechaper alechem. So this seir izim, this goat, is here for a chatat, a sin offering, to atone for you all, alechem. And then it clarifies, milvad olat hachodesh uminchata. So milvad means all this is apart from the olat hachodesh. That is the burnt offering of the new month. Because every chodesh, remember, every chodesh, every beginning of every new moon has its own burnt offering, uminchatach, and its own grain offering, its own mincha. So that is to say that on the first of the 7th month, this ram, or the bull first, and the ram, and the 7 lambs, and their meal offerings, their grain offerings, they are independent of what's already obligatory at the beginning of the new month. Every new month has its own olah, its own burnt offering. So this milvad olat ha-chodesh means this is over and above the olat ha-chodesh uminchata, that is the burnt offering for the new month and its grain offering. ve'olah tatamid uminchata, and over and above the olah of the burnt offering of the tamid, that is the daily burnt offering and its grain offerings, niskehem, and their drink offerings, kamishpatam, according to their mishpat, according to their instruction, or according to their fixed protocol. So yes, with the seventh month, we have a new month, and every new month has its own celebratory burnt offerings. This is just making extra clear to us, to Israel, that the first of the seventh month is set apart from all the other months in a very special way. And then it finishes here, L'reach nichoach ishe l'Adonai, an offering by fire unto the Lord as a pleasing aroma. So ishe l'Adonai means an offering by fire unto the Lord. L'reach nichoach is the same phrase we saw earlier. It's a pleasing aroma. It is acceptable worship. Remember, God is holy. He is self-determined. He is sovereign. He appoints times. He gives instructions. If we took it upon ourselves to approach him in some way of our own imagination, that we're going to approach him in a way that he has not prescribed, that's unacceptable to him. Think of Nadav and Avihu, the sons of Aharon, when they offered strange fire. That was not acceptable to him. He defines what is acceptable worship. And Yeshua clarifies for us in John chapter 4, the Father seeks those who will worship him in spirit and in truth. That is the reach nichoach. What is acceptable worship to him is where our inside and our outside are not different. Our inside is cleansed and our outside is cleansed. It's not a performance outwardly to try to impress other people or to try to appear a certain way or to try to earn our way to God's favor or anything like that. It's rather based in the true revelation of joy in new creation life. His children by faith. And this is not new for we who are on this side of the cross. We can read in Hebrews 11, by faith, all the way back to Abel. Abel offered an acceptable sacrifice to the Lord by faith. We can see all the men and women of faith throughout history approached God in spirit and in truth. He will accept nothing less than spirit and truth. So I hope this short reading of Numbers 29 is a blessing for you as you celebrate the feasts. Shalom.